This conference will now be recorded.
He's gone
Again?
and Kim.
And our vice chair is going. Is she coming? Is Kim coming?
No, she won't be here.
Either one.
Stuck with me. We'll call the meeting to order. Is there any amendments on the agenda?
No amendments. Will make a little bit of a change. I don't know why I did this, but the cannabis cultivation needs to be a public hearing technically, which that's what it is anyways. So it just needs to get moved up to 4A. So I'm just gonna make that change. So we'll just do it first, I suppose, which we're doing it first anyways, so.
Will it advertise as a public hearing?
It was advertised as a public hearing. Yep.
Okay, well, we need a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approve the minutes from last meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the last month's minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. This is where the public hearing, that's why you said you were surprised nobody's here.
Yeah, yep.
It's supposed to be a public hearing. So we'll do the public hearing next then. So as we move 6A up there, cannabis cultivation conditional use permit.
All right. So the city of Zumbrota has received an application for a conditional use permit for a cannabis cultivation facility at 16980 445th Street, which is across Highway 52 along County Road 168. Pursuant to our 2024 cannabis ordinance, the city requires that a conditional use permit is granted before it can operate in the city. This facility would be used for growing cannabis plants only. There'd be no retail business at this location. Cultivation facilities are only allowed within our agricultural and industrial districts. This location is an industrial 1. This location also adheres to all of our minimum buffer zones like schools, daycares, residential treatment facilities that are set by our ordinance. The city of Zumbrota delegates all of our cannabis administration authority via licensing to Goodhue County. So the county has verified that the applicant has coordinated with them to receive a permit. And they also have a state of Minnesota permit as well. As part of this conditional use permit, the city will be adding some conditions to the resolution per our legal counsel that will be presented for city council, not for planning commission. These conditions are going to be basically that they're required to have a permit and maintain those permits, or all necessary ones, so through the state and the county. And there'll be some additional ones too, but that's basically based off what you all have input on as well. And then those will be brought to city council for their guidance and decision on that. The applicant has provided the planning commission with a filled out development application, a submission packet outlining details of business operation, and a narrative discussing reasons to approve the request. And so we're basically just holding a public hearing tonight. And we're requesting that the commission make findings of fact and then a recommendation for city council at the next meeting. So, yeah.
This will just have to meet the findings of fact, won't it?
Yes, and it's not the same as a variance because variances are kind of more for residential use, I'd say.
Mhm.
So kind of with our conditional use permit, what we found with our legal counsel and some previous ones is just that as long as our district outlines what is allowed there, I mean, it's all kind of fair game a little bit. Basically what this just does is gives us the opportunity to set some parameters just in case we need to be wary of what's going in. So like in this case, we want to make sure they're licensed and that they maintain that licensing while they're in operation. And so in some other cases, it would be different. So it just kind of varies depending on those circumstances. I added in the cannabis ordinance that we passed in 2024 for your reference on kind of this, on a lot of this information here too. So
Are they applying for a conditional use permit or what?
yes, a conditional use permit. Our ordinance says that you have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a requirement that we put in place for
And
this.
that'll have to meet the 5 findings of fact.
Yes, I mean, it's a little bit different because it's technically a permitted use. It's allowed. So the difference is that a conditional use permit just says that we're setting conditions on which we're granting it. So similar to a variance or what have you, but it's allowed. So it's not like they're varying from what is already allowed. Our industrial use says, yes, they can use this for this purpose. It's just about us. Is there anything we want to add into the resolution that is legal that they need to adhere to in operation? So that's basically what it's for. And also, you also do make the decision on whether or not it moves forward as well too. But that's what the conditional use permit part of it is for, I guess.
Do we go step by step through the 5 findings of fact, or what do we do?
What, we don't need to do all of those.
We don't
Well,
need to?
no, it's not a variance, so it doesn't matter what the shape of the lot is or all that, that we would typically do. 'Cause
But
it's-
that if it would affect businesses nearby or
Right.
traffic or.
So in a way, you're doing findings of fact, but it's just basically like the facts of the project that are being presented to council. And here's our recommendation based off what we have information wise. So you are making findings of fact. It's just not the same as a variance would be.
But we probably should do the findings of fact if it should, be objectionable by somebody, don't you think?
Yeah, well, yes, we are making findings of fact by approving this
Yeah.
anyways. It's just not the same as what we would do for someone building a garage on a property that's 25 feet high.
Okay.
Did you say this is going into an existing building already, or is it building?
Yes, it's an existing building that's kind of been on the market for a while. It's relatively small. It's not a large facility. I don't know the exact size, but he's not making any changes, he said, to the building that I'm aware of. And if he is, he'll get any necessary building permits and what have you. But he tried to outline some of the details in his packet about what it would look like in there. So,
Yeah, because I just want to make sure for an area, and I had a Google of where it was on Google Maps, but it dropped a pin in like a field. So it's.
Yeah.
It's over by Covered Bridge Restaurant, right?
Yes.
It's south of that cold storage,
Right
isn't it?
across the
Okay.
highway.
Oh, sure.
There's
okay.
one little building, kitty
Yep.
corner. It's right in that building.
And
Okay.
who owns
Because
that?
it's on
Does this
Google.
guy own the building that
he
wants to
does
do this?
not own the building. He's going to be leasing it from the owners, from an investment group. So we've actually had, I would say I've had almost 10 calls from different suitors about this building to put something here. And this is really the first one that's materialized into anything. So it's gotten a lot of interest, but no one owns it. It's just the investment group that owns it, or none of the people that wanted to put anything in there own it. So they're just going to be leasing it for this purpose.
Will this follow the rule that the variance runs with the land? If this guy doesn't own it and gets a hemp processing thing in there? or what?
I don't believe it would run with the land because it's not,
But a variance does.
it's not a
A real
variance.
variance does.
Yeah, but it's not a variance, so it doesn't get recorded like it would against a property. So, because they're not doing anything, so this is just for the permitted use that's going in there, so.
What kind of water waste is he gonna have? Gonna affect their plan?
According to our city engineer, there's really minimal usage for something like this. He hasn't seen anything in other communities. He didn't give me anything that he would even consider setting eyes on for something like this, he said. So he doesn't have any wide concerns there anyways too, so. And it is technically or right off the county road as well, so we're not doing a lot of the street maintenance there either as well.
What do they do with the residue from this? If they use the leaves, is that what they do with this business?
I'm not too sure.
But there must be a stem.
Can I just chime in here?
Yeah.
Under reasons to approve requests, there's utilities and waste management. Water usage will be managed in accordance with local and state requirements. The facility will use a recirculating nutrient system designed to minimize water usage and reduce waste. Nutrient inputs will be stored and handled within the facility in a controlled manner. So I think there'd probably be a little waste. Basically, I would see this as a greenhouse kind of, I don't see a whole lot of issue. But one question I had was, did you open the public hearing at all?
We haven't done that
We
yet.
haven't, you're just having discussion now, and you have someone up there.
I believe that's the applicant.
So if the applicant would want to answer any questions, then.
So we need to open the public hearing then?
Yeah, well, if there's more discussion, we can have it now.
First, yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and open the public hearing and.
I mean, we can still discuss it.
Yep.
So does the county kind of do the inspections of this thing then, or being at their?
All of our authority just goes to them, so I don't know what processes they have. Our ordinance has some inspection guidelines, but since we've delegated all of our authority to them, I don't know what their ordinance addresses in that. I would assume that they would be handling that. I can't verify for sure, but I know the office that they're working with, and so they'll be handling any administration of this, and they handle all the permits and licensing for them too. So
Unless there's a building permit required, and then Safe Built will be handling that part of it. But
So is there amount that they can grow? Is there guidelines on the amount that they can grow to in there, or just?
I don't know anything about what the state allows or what they require, or even what the county allows for those requirements.
Any more questions, or want to open the public hearing? Open the public hearing for the cannabis cultivation conditional use permit. Any? So I don't really ask him what he, if there's any comments or questions. From Jay,
Joe, maybe?
down the corner. Will he get to identify himself? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned with that, but I think we've opened it and
Okay,
we've had a chance now, so
we can close it then.
I'd say so.
So there's no other comments on the public hearing. We'll close the public hearing. Does that, what's that out on the highway? Is that, they do the same thing out there?
In the county there, in the
52
township?
there?
They're not a cannabis, they're the hemp product.
Yeah, I don't think they went to cannabis yet either, did they?
So is there cannabis cultivation around here at all? You know?
The one that I'm aware of is up at River Island Indian Reservation, their Island Prezi, their reservation community has one. But they're also a retail operation.
So this, for this one, it'll ship it out somewhere else to
Yeah,
With
that's my
retail.
understanding, looking at the application and information from Miles, is that this is just a manufacturing facility or a growing facility, not a retail location.
Will they bring the product in here or will they grow it here? Do they bring it in or do they grow it
You're
here?
gonna grow it, right?
They'll be growing it here and then shipping out. So no
Grow it
retail.
inside this building, is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a motion or whatever to,
It'd be a motion to recommend approval or denial to city council.
Can I speak to the finding of facts? Just a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
think
here?
we should do that.
Well, yeah, I don't think, you don't want to go through the zoning, or not the zoning, the variance finding of facts, but to me, the finding of facts in this case, so like Miles was explaining that, this appears to meet ordinance 2024-07, the requirements of ordinance 2024-07, specifically section 115.3, requirements of cannabis business, meets all, like Miles mentioned that, it meets all the buffer requirements, the location, the zoning, land use. That to me would be finding of facts in a case like this. But again, you're the commission, so that's just my thoughts.
Certainly isn't the normal thing that we have to decide on. It seems like there's a lot of variables that we don't know about.
Looks like there's one state-approved commercial cannabis cultivation operation in Goodhue County right now. The one that Tony talked about.
I'm sure this will, you'll go over this with the city council anyway. And then do you see any red flags with this though?
I would say I've had a lot of calls about cannabis in our city since I've started, in a couple different locations. Some more serious than others. I would say he has been the most professional of all of them by far and away, and the most prepared. And I think that says something, in my opinion. I'm not trying to make a recommendation or anything, but he's been great to work with so far. And he's got all of his ducks in a row. He's got his licenses ahead of time, which no one else did, which I think was appreciated. And he provided all materials I asked for, because I knew you would all want to review materials and application and kind of what it would look like, because this is kind of new for us. We haven't really had it yet since we passed our ordinance. So, and that he complied with that and sent it right away. And so I don't see any big issues with this one at all.
Are there other people growing it in Zumbrota?
No, as Brian said, the only one in Goodhue County right now is up in the Prairie Island, the tribal community.
And that's an indoor thing like this would be?
I'm not sure what their facilities like. So
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure, but there are probably a lot of people growing it in Zamora. They're just in their yard.
In their basement?
Yeah. 'Cause, but I would say from a staff standpoint, and Miles and I and the staff have talked about it, for one to go in, this is about the best spot for it. It's outside of town. It's in town, it's in city limits, but it's across the highway. It's over an industrial area. I guess it's exactly what the ordinance was after when we put it together, that if we're gonna have one, hey, that's a great spot. And it's a reuse of a building that's been empty for a while too. So that's another positive for the city. But I would say staff would definitely
From
recommend
the
approval.
police department side of things, looking at their plan for security, it looks adequate and we don't have concerns. Again, with the location is in my opinion, a good location for this to be. It's not, like Brian said, it's kind of out of the way where it's not a regularly traveled route. It's one that we patrol regularly, and we don't come across people that shouldn't be out there to begin with, because most people can't figure out how to get out that way. So I think this is an ideal spot for it. as Miles said too, they've been very receptive to the city's needs and requests with the ordinance and providing their documentation. Again, looking at their security plan here, it seems more than adequate to ensure that they're not going to have issues.
Nobody here to speak against it from the community after it was posted. I think that speaks as well.
Yes, I don't see an issue. We should make a motion to approve it.
How should the motion be to approve the,
Motion to recommend approval to city council.
Approval of the permit, is that what we're doing?
conditional use permit, yep.
I should-
So that's what we'll go tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I'm just staring at everybody.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, we do have two newbies, but yeah. So we'll just need someone to make a motion
Make a
to,
motion to approve it.
We have a motion,
and then someone to second that
second
motion.
it. We have a motion, a second to approve the conditional use permit for the cannabis cultivation. Let's do a roll call on that. Just aye, right?
It's,
At this point,
Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So that will be brought to the city council next week or? Okay. So we're at old business, oath of office, new members.
and I actually, you don't really need to do that. The only thing I was gonna do is just have our two new members sign our oath of office forms. So we got that taken care of ahead of time. So there's really no discussion to be had or anything. They've already been approved by council. So that'll be it for that one.
Okay. So you're way ahead of the game. Thank you. So that is everything then, Emma.
I believe so. I don't think I have anything else at this time to bring forward.
Okay, no other also, so we should get a motion adjourn, we just adjourn it, right?
I think you can just adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
A motion, a second, adjourn the meeting, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That didn't hurt. Thanks, Miles.
No problem. You.
that was quick, a whole 21 minutes. See you all later. See ya. Thanks, Tony.